Hi YouTube. Today we're watching 11-year-old's prank ends in felony charge.
Message from someone saying they were behind a car. Their friend was kidnapped from a Chick-fil-A in Palm Coast, and they were on the interstate behind the car.
Everything on your phone is telling me that you made a phone call to 911.
But I didn't talk.
Even if you don't talk, they can trace it back.
Stupid.
Here, Amanda. Here, stop. Hey.
On July 26, 2023,
That is
dispatchers in
insane.
Volusia County receive urgent 911 text from a driver who claims to be following an armed kidnapper's van on the interstate. When they trace the phone, however, they learn the messages are coming from a residence in Port Orange.
I didn't even know that you can send like text messages to 911. I thought it was just like phone calls. I've never heard of like actual text messages, but maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe I just don't hear of it often. I think I've known about it.
Turning a plea for help into an unexpected lesson in consequences.
I'm telling you this right now, you're going to take this as a lesson at 11 years old that if you do something stupid in the future, you're going to enjoy those cuffs.
I'm not going to do this again.
The following report is based
I feel like obviously it's a bad thing for a kid to do, but I feel like a lot of kids have done this in the past where they have like done a prank call or something. I've never done it personally because I feel like even now I'm too scared to call my doctor for an appointment. And even now I'm too scared to like even call out of work and call my store. But personally, I feel like it is like, I hear about it a lot where kids like do prank calls and everything. So at least at this moment, these parents are actually taking that chance to show her that in the future, if she were to do something that even as little as a prank call, it will turn into a big consequence, and that she should learn to respect authorities and police officers. I feel like even if they are terrible police officers, you still need to be careful. You definitely still need to be careful. So
official police records, and the footage has mostly never been seen before until now. It's just after 9:45 a.m. when 911 begins receiving texts from someone named Lily Lee Combs. She claims to be following a kidnapper's van on the interstate,
oh my
and
god.
updates are still pouring in. Volusia County deputies, multiple area police departments, and a helicopter joined the urgent.
Imagine all the people that they could have saved in that amount of time, and all the people that are basically wasting their time trying to help this one person that doesn't even exist when they could be helping other people and could be putting all that force into an actual case that is going on.
Search. When they fail to locate the van, a deputy tries calling the phone number that's been sending the text messages.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Is this the, what's your name? Can you hear me? Hello? I'm trying to reach the person that called 911. Yeah, can you hear me? Oh, it's not up.
Please leave your message for 3.
Oh, it's going voicemail. It says, RP confirming they are in a blue Jeep. Victim is in a white van. They can see they are being restrained through the windows.
How can you see that through the window?
A new text message comes through, including a detailed description of the suspect, who's described as having brown hair and blue eyes.
How is she behind them? She's seeing this happen and she knows what color eyes he has. That's weird. Brown hair and blue eyes, but she's behind them, like
If she was like saw the incident or saw witnessed the kidnapping, or I mean, like, how would you even be following them and know any of this?
yeah.
I feel like they know, kind of in a sense, like they have that feeling that's like a prank call, but at the same time, they don't want to take any chances of it, like, of like labeling it as a prank call and an actual person being in the situation and then not being able to save that person, and then them them feeling guilty about not being able to get that to that person or save that person because they labeled it as a prank call.
Confirming they are in a blue Jeep, victim in a white van. Of course it's a white van, like it just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm not saying this by any means, but it's just,
Yeah.
I've had calls like this before.
Their suspicions about the text messages are all but confirmed when a GPS trace on the phone comes back to a residence in Port Orange, indicating the texter is not traveling on the highway as they claim. Deputies quickly head to the residence to investigate.
Hi there, how you doing? Is this your residence, sir?
This is.
Do you have a daughter
That
or a
is a
child at the home
big
named by
yard.
Lily Lee?
No.
No?
Anybody home?
Yeah, my wife, my kids. We just got home from Pennsylvania. I have an Ava and a Mikey.
Ava and Mikey.
Yep.
One Delta 5.
Would you like to see them?
The deputies follow him to his house, where he informs his wife what's going on.
There was a 911 call?
Yeah, so somebody called in, or well, they texted.
Sorry, I'm in my pajamas.
No, it's fine.
You're fine.
Someone texted into 911 that someone was getting kidnapped and they were on the interstate, but then when they went and did like a location on the phone, the address was showing up here.
As their daughter Ava steps into the garage, her phone rings. The deputy answers it, leading to a shocking conclusion.
Hello? Hold on. Who's this?
Volusia County Sheriff's Office.
All right, cool. This is Deputy Asby, the Sheriff's Office.
Oh, good. You got her.
Yep. All right.
Oh, okay. Is her dad home?
Yep. I got both her parents here.
Yeah, we're gonna ask the sheriff to go away in a second.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
What happened? I'm so.
Let me see this phone.
Yeah, so all these other numbers. So there's a phone call out to 911.
That is insane.
Yeah.
There.
What time?
That's her
There's one
call.
right
That's
here.
her calling it.
There's 911 again right there.
This phone was called
These numbers calling back in are no caller ID.
You did.
Well, there's 3 different times that 911 was called out from this phone.
9:30 a.m.
Yep.
That was the initial call.
Twice.
And I didn't mean to call that because
But you did.
Reports show that the number belonging to Ava dialed 911 at 9:30. When asked where the emergency is, a female identified as possibly a juvenile responded, "I'm sorry, I dialed the wrong number." The same phone number would later begin texting 911 to report the kidnapping.
When?
I swear there's been moments where I've accidentally opened like the emergency phone number on my phone, almost called. Thankfully I didn't, but it gives me a heart attack every single time, and I feel like my phone has something against me because even when I'm not like using it, or I'll just like be carrying it on my hand or just holding it or whatever, there will be moments where I look back at my phone again and I'm just locked out of my phone for like 15 minutes because I entered the wrong passcode who knows how many times, but I wasn't even on my phone. I was just holding it. So it sucks, but still, it's not something you should never call 911 if you are not in an emergency. And even if you dial it on accident, always ensure that they know that it's not an emergency and you can get it over and dealt with so that they can deal with someone and help someone that is in an emergency. And I feel like even if her parents are strict or if they aren't, there's always a chance that a kid can hear from their friend, "Oh, you should call this number, do a little prank call. It'd be so much fun." Da, da, da. So I don't know what to do in this type of situation if you're like raising a kid and how to teach them the importance. I feel like the only way that they can like figure it out is like trial and error. And then even having a phone such a young age, I feel like sometimes it's just setting them up for failure.
I'm just so confused. I'm sorry. When did you got a message about an interstate?
So there was a text message from someone saying they were behind a car.
Could I call this
Who
back?
was kidnapped.
That's
Their friend was kidnapped from a Chick-fil-A in Palm Coast, and they were on the interstate behind the car.
What time is this?
This
Today?
is like, yeah, this is today. This
Oh,
is
we
actively
got
going on
home
right
at
now.
2:30 in the morning,
Okay.
so we were here the whole time since 2:30. We were on the interstate coming home
Ava,
from
everything's showing that
Pennsylvania.
Right.
you called out.
We showed up here like 2:10, 2:15
Okay.
And we
yeah,
went to
but,
bed.
But these 911 calls
for this
count.
morning. You were calling 911?
I honestly
You were,
can't
don't
wait
look
to hear her
surprised. You did.
excuses.
You
Did
did
you-
it on your phone.
Did they say anything to you? No one said anything to you?
Did you say, Ava, you have to explain what happened here. Something's going on. What did you know? What do you know?
Mikey, go inside. Ava, get your shoes on. Come out here.
I didn't hit anything.
You-
You close the door.
You're
Aw.
not in trouble. I
Go
just
right
need to
there.
know what happened.
Oh, you can just hear him go, "Do you want me to close the door?" I feel like she's gonna blame him. I already feel like she's gonna blame him. I feel like it's that sibling instinct to like blame your younger sibling because he sounds younger, right? Well, I feel like it's instinct for the younger sibling to blame the older, and then also just to blame your siblings in general, right?
To know and understand because this is like weird.
Because we got to make sure that there's not somebody that's being kidnapped on the interstate and we're trying to find them. And all of a
Open your
sudden-
mouth if you said something on the phone.
I didn't say anything,
Everything on your phone is telling me that you made a phone call to 911.
but I didn't talk.
While one deputy heads
That
to her
is
cruiser,
insane.
she greets officers from the Port Orange Police Department
I
who
feel
have
like
just
she's-
arrived at the scene.
She still doesn't know how big of a deal it is, and she still doesn't understand that she is gonna face her consequences.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Oh, I just trying to make
Is that a
heads
goat?
sound that damn call. There's
Where's-
so many notes in it, my God.
Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. We're with the parents and the daughter, and I guess
Okay.
the daughter did have. We pulled up the call log, and she did call 911.
So the whole armed kidnapping thing and all that stuff is bogus, or
There was no text evidence when we looked through it, so I don't know if she deleted it real quick or if it's like through
Okay.
through an app. Yeah, it seems it's probably just this wedding thing. She's like 10 years old, so
wow, okay.
yeah.
While Ava's parents demand an explanation, deputies prepare to Mirandize the 11-year-old, who has yet to fully grasp the gravity of the situation.
You just lied to the police and mommy and daddy. You just lied to everybody.
You have 3 sheriffs here for stupidity.
Tell them what you just said to us.
Open your mouth. I'm telling you, open your mouth.
She's gonna read you something, and then we're gonna ask you some questions. What's your name?
I swear, even as a kid, my mom, she was so strict. She was so strict. If we were going into a store, I could not touch anything unless I specifically asked her if it was okay to grab it and that like we could buy it. And even then, I felt too scared to grab something because like I felt like she would like have me pay for it. But I feel like she was good at teaching like lessons on how to make us behave. Like for instance, when we went to like restaurants or anything like that, when they would give us the bill at the end, we had a rule that you cannot touch the bill unless you are going to pay for it. So my mom would tell me every single time, you cannot touch that unless you're going to pay for it. So it always made me not touch the bill. And even now, if she's like treating us and like she's taking us out to a dinner, I refuse to touch the bill unless I know for a fact that I'm going to pay for it. Because it scares me. Every single time I grab it, I get like PTSD from when I was a kid and I grabbed it once and I panicked because she told me that I was quote unquote paying for the bill.
Ava. How old are you, Ava?
All right, Miss Ava, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and to have the lawyer present.
Look at her
during
mom.
any
Her mom
questioning.
looks so
If you cannot
confused.
afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before my questioning if you wish.
We're reading her rights.
Because you did something stupid.
You can't just tell the truth and expect it to like to go away and not have to
You
face your
can
consequences.
cry about this. What you've done here is a felony. Okay? It's a felony crime, and you probably had 20 law enforcement officers at least, a helicopter, and all running with lights and siren on high speed to try to apprehend or try to stop a serious forcible felony from happening. Do you know what happens if one of those officers crashes and gets killed on the way to responding to something that you did as a joke? So you better take this serious.
Under pressure from both her father and the deputy, Ava offers an excuse for her actions, which doesn't sit well with the deputy.
Ava, You need to tell the exact truth. I don't want a story. I don't care what it is. I want the exact truth.
You can't make this go away by being quiet. The only thing you're going to end up, that's going to happen to you is you're going to end up in a pair of handcuffs going to our juvenile facility. I'm not going to mince any words with you. That's a very distinct possibility of what can happen here today. Don't look at your mother. She didn't have any part in this. This was all you.
Yesterday, I beat my brother.
I knew it. I knew it.
Maybe talking to him, and then I ended up doing it today and doing all this. And
Was he part of planning this with you?
no, he just said it, and then
What did he say?
he said, "What's 911?"
This is your brother?
Yeah, he said it this way.
You wanna get him?
"Let's dial 911."
Well, we can, when we're done, will you go wait a minute?
And then I said, "No, we can't." And then I had an idea this morning, and then I just
So you're trying to blame this on your brother?
you could ask me.
Did he, was he with you when you made this call?
No.
Okay, was he with you when you made these texts?
No.
Okay, then you did this. You were on your own for this. And if your brother's 7 years old, you're not going to blame your 7-year-old brother for this. This was all your decision.
Actually insane.
Okay.
To call 911 to do what? What did he say to call 911?
Just call 911. You could ask him.
So can I ask?
What if
was
he told you to
something
go up on the roof
YouTube
and jump
that you
off the
saw?
roof? Would you do that? So what's the difference?
Deputies will soon discover the startling truth behind Ava's fabricated story. For now, Ava's mother raises concerns about recent questionable activity on Ava's phone, but it does little to impact the situation.
You know?
So I have something really weird with that phone. When we first got that, the phone kept ringing non-stop, ringing.
What does that have to do with
to
anything?
me. And I was picking it up, and there was like people talking, and like I'm like hello, and like non-stop, like I mean every 4 seconds there was a call coming in with random numbers, and I didn't know them. And I was saying block contact. Like as soon as the trick got that phone number,
Okay,
I was
well,
like
Just said
this.
that
Is she talking about like them calling her? Like was she the one that picked up and said hello every now and then when they were in the car? Or is she just talking about like when they first got the phone? Because I have no idea what that has to do with anything about this. I have no idea.
that has nothing to do with what went on today.
Questions about her intentions lead to a harsh reality check from the deputy, who forces Ava to consider the possible consequences of the false report.
What were you planning on happening out of this? Well, what did you think was going to happen when you said somebody was kidnapped and somebody had a gun? What did you think was going to happen? Well, did you have any thoughts about how much of the law
She probably didn't even think that she was gonna get caught.
you were going to take up by doing that?
A lot of people that do like pranks and stuff, they are never sorry until they get caught. And that's what sucks about it, because they will never apologize or realize how impactful their actions were to the people around them and the consequences of it, because they only are sorry that they got caught and that they're in trouble.
Right? Did you think of the men and women that have families at home that are driving 90 or 100 miles an hour with their lights and siren on, trying to save somebody who's a victim of an armed kidnapping, that they could be involved in a traffic crash and be seriously injured or killed because you wanted to make a joke? Does that seem funny to you? Would that be funny if that happened? Because I can tell you that would be even more serious than what you're looking at right now.
you physically see your father walk up to sheriffs, military, everybody, thank you for your service. And then you do like this?
Though it wasn't captured on camera, reports state that Ava admitted to getting the idea to prank 911 from a YouTube challenge, and a deputy attempts to get more.
See, this is why I feel like kids shouldn't have a phone. Like, I get it if they grew up too early or if they're too mature and they need a phone in middle school or high school to be able to text their parents, call their parents, stuff for emergencies and kind of stuff. But I honestly feel like phones at that age should come with restrictions. Obviously, I feel like a kid should not be on their phone for more than like a certain amount of time, and they should have like child locks on it for certain apps and stuff. And even on YouTube, like it should be monitored on what they're watching. Because on YouTube, I could you not, you can find stuff in shorts that is labeled for as kids, but it has like such a, I don't know how to explain it, but it has this like, it has these characters that will have big, I'm talking about, like big stuff, big assets, and it is obviously targeted to kids, but it's made for kids, made by adults with bad intentions. And I feel like that should be talked about more because kids are going online more and parents aren't watching them because they're letting their kids be raised by YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. And when they see those videos, it just rots their brain. And I feel like YouTube should do something about it because I could just be scrolling through something, I'll get a video or I'll see a video, and honestly that is not for kids. Even though like it looks like it's for kids, it's not. But like I saw this video of like a guy that explained what was going on with like all these videos being made with like suggestive topics, I guess you could say, with like kid characters. And even though he talked about it and like it brought awareness to it, that video became shadow banned and now can't reach as many people as it should. And I feel like that should be brought to light a lot more because it's becoming more and more serious, especially with like YouTube shorts. That gets addicting. Kids are going and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and they're seeing those type of videos over and over and over again. It should be kept away. Should be kept away.
Where was this video that you saw? Where was it?
Not to mention the bots. The bots, if you go to like a popular channel, it doesn't even have to have any suggestive content in it. It could just be like a popular YouTuber and they could be like kid friendly. You look in the comments and then you see the bots at the bottom of the comments or the top of the comments. It's always at the top, always. It's always like 3 to 4 bots, and they're all profile pictures with stuff that should not be seen by anyone and are linking their stuff at their description or their bio. Whenever I see one of those, I always have to report it because I could you not. The amount of stuff that I have seen by looking just at a random comment section is crazy, and it should be talked about more. It is insane.
Do you remember who the creator was or who the poster was, what it was about? What do you mean by all of this? This as in what? So it was a video about the Palm Coast Chick-fil-A. That's it. That's all the video was about?
I am so confused about what she's saying.
Yep. So you saw a video that somebody made about how fun it would be to call 911 or text 911 and say somebody's got a gun, somebody's trying to get hurt. You thought it'd be fun
I feel like
to
even
recreate that. Is that what you're telling me?
Even like seeing that in a YouTube video, you should know. You should know that it is not a good thing to do, and you should know that you should not do it. Like those values and morals should be taught to you. and you should already know that. A lot of videos that even have prank calls and that she's probably talking about are probably even fake.
Okay.
However, Ava is about to realize an apology won't be enough to escape the consequences. Meanwhile, one deputy reveals that he was able to reach Ava by phone just before their arrival and got a less than friendly response from the young girl.
27 minutes, she lied to the dispatcher or the call taker over text, and then when I caught her up, she told me to F myself and stop responding.
Cut her up?
Like, got her caught up. Like, hey, you know what's up? The jig's up.
That's when she started deleting more text messages.
Based on Ava's statements, deputies decide there's enough probable cause to arrest Ava and prepare to take the 11-year-old into custody.
Here, Amanda. Here, stop. Hey.
I feel so bad for laughing, but
She can't sit in a dentist's office, so that's why I'm saying.
Deep breath.
Listen carefully. Don't.
like even now the parents are still trying to cater to her in some type of way. The dad saying she can't even sit in the dentist chair, and the mom saying, "Oh, can I go with her?" The only way she's gonna learn is if she's alone at this moment of time, because honestly, everything that we have been seeing, she did by herself, so she should face by herself. And when she gets out, then she'll realize how serious it was and how to truly, and she'll realize like how serious it was. That's the only way she'll realize that, because right now she's not taking it seriously. She's only saying, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Don't make this.
She's gonna come out there. No, she'll be out there. She is going to hurt herself right now.
She's not going to help her by her. So stop. Listen to me. What's your Ava? Ava, stop struggling, okay? They're not going to hurt you. Yeah, they're not going to hurt you. Listen carefully what's going to happen here. No one's going to hurt you. You're going to sit in the car for now, okay? If you go somewhere, what it's going to involve is taking pictures, taking fingerprints, and then they're going to call your parents to come and get you. So don't make the situation any worse. They'll be up shortly after that.
Go in the car?
No, you can't go in the car.
You can cuff me if you have to.
It just can't happen.
I'm telling you this right now, you're going to take this as a lesson at 11 years old, that if you do something stupid in the future, you're going to enjoy those cuffs.
I'm not going to do this again.
Ava is placed into the back of the police car, where her father delivers a few hard truths.
I'm just warning you, you're not going to sit for a couple hours. They're going to be bringing you into a building, fingerprinting you, doing all sorts of stupid
All
you're
because,
stupid.
yeah, all
Your life
because she
just
decided to
changed,
do
kid.
stupid shit.
Over a phone call, your life just changed.
Minutes later, the reality of the situation continues to have an emotional impact on her parents.
This is the best punishment for her right now. Stop stressing. This is the best thing for her because she's about to get it.
It sucks for us. I work my off with you to keep this kid doing stuff normal like we did as kids, and this is the she does.
According to a statement from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office, 11-year-old Ava was charged with making a false police report concerning the use of a firearm in a violent manner, a felony, and misuse of 911, a misdemeanor. After being processed at the Family Resource Center, she was later transferred to the Volusia Regional Juvenile Detention Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, an experience she is unlikely to forget. We requested more information about her case from the Volusia County Juvenile Court, and they said nothing is releasable.
Well, at least she's getting the consequences of her actions. I hope she learns from it. It all could have been avoided if she just didn't call 911, but it is something a lot of kids end up doing, and I feel like you know what sucks about this? I remember a case where a teenager was going into the parking lot trying to get his sports equipment from his van. And when he was doing that, he actually fell inside the trunk, and then it shut behind him. And he tried calling 911, but when they answered, they thought it was a prank call. They only had one officer go in between the parking lot and not really actually check inside the cars. He was just like driving around and was like, okay, no one needs my help, we're done. But makes that type of reputation that if any kid or any teenager calls it, it might be a prank call. When you never know it is a prank call or when it isn't. And police obviously should always take the call as serious as possible. But it's still something to think about, because some of these cases and some instances where kids are doing this, it makes it invalidate other calls that are actually true. But I do hope she's doing okay now, or doing better now. I hope she learned her lesson, and I hope that in doing this, people that watch this video that might be younger or whatever realize how serious it is to call 911 as a prank, as a joke, because that is something that you should never joke about. Never. Okay, bye bye. I hope you have a good day.